Hey guys, at BV Manson here, and you guys called it. I ordered covers. I couldn't deal with it. Couldn't deal with it. Here's that carburetor with the fresh new cover on it. Let's do a quick side-by-side before we get to the video today. You know, what's better? Pretty straight. Chrome paint, not as good as chrome. Nice new chrome covers. Look at how beautiful these carburetors came out. Still got to build the other one. I was waiting on the covers. So I'll build that other one out probably this weekend while I'm watching some football. Today's project, though, we're going to get the switches back on these handlebars. All right, so we got to get grips on, and then we've got to get our switches wires fed through. So let's do that today. All right, in order to kind of get this job done today, you're not going to need very many tools, but you're going to need some Dawn dish soap, or any kind of dish soap. Doesn't have to be Dawn. There's nothing special about it. And you're also going to need a long wire, all right? Going to need a long wire to help move, these wires through the handlebars, all right? The wires don't go on the outside. I've seen some people doing that with some aftermarket kind of stuff. Not a fan, man. Just doesn't look as neat. All right, so we're going to feed the wires through. We're going to get it done. So I believe the only other thing, I think I need a 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. Or a JIS screwdriver. So I'm working with a couple switches. I've actually got one brand new switch that was left over from my CB350 build. I actually thought I needed it, but then I found another workaround. So I actually have, a brand new kill switch right here. So that's fantastic. We'll put that on the bike. Now this one, a little crusty looking. All right, so it's going to need a little bit of cleanup. So let's get this bad boy apart. Now these switches are, they're just a pancake. They just go together. So there's two screws that really hold these things together. Again, the JIS fits like a freaking glove. Keep track of the length of the screws that you're taking out, okay? So this one here, let's call that I don't know what would we call it, probably the bottom, or towards the bar, is a little bit longer, all right? And then down here, we've got another one here. If I remember right, they're completely different lengths. Let's check. No, they're the same freaking length. Never mind. But anyway, now we're going to just pancake this thing open. And let's take a look inside of the switch. It's kind of dirty. What I'm looking at are contact points, all right? You don't have to worry about this thing. That's just a keeper. It kind of keeps things oriented. But what I am curious of looking at is corrosion within some of these parts here. I feel like we should do a little bit of a deeper dive here, because I'd hate to put all of this on the bike and then not have it. The switch feels nice and clean. I mean, there's some dirt inside of it. Looks clean here. Definitely want to blow this out just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one, and let's just see what's happening underneath. Again, I'm just mostly concerned about cleanliness of contacts. And that screw is rusted. That bad boy is rusted. So I'm going to hit this with some deep creep. I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to get that out. We might have to just roll with it just the way it is, because that screw, I don't think that sucker's coming out of there, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it? I'm not sure it's worth digging into, honestly. I'm going to take a chance. And I'm going to say, get my compressed air, blow this out really good. Compressed air's running out, running a little low on me. Don't give up on me, Rudy. I think this switch is going to be fine. I'm not too hurt. This actually, once I just blow it out, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to wipe this up. Starter button looks clean. Or a horn. That's a horn button. We got to clean the outside of it, though. So what I'm going to do for this, little barkeeper's friend. I have heard amazing things from people using Barkeeper's Friend, all right? I've never used it, honestly. So we're just going to try some out. I'm going to dump some into a little container here. It's like a, what is it, Ajax? I don't know. I don't even know how much I freaking need. But I got some hot water. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to keep it nice and loose. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself an old toothbrush. And we're going to start cleaning the outside of these because it's filthy. I mean, look at it. It's dirty. Also going to be very careful not to get fluids and stuff inside the switches or inside any of the electronics. But yeah, I feel good about all this. I think we're going to be fine. So I got my little toothbrush. Mix up some Barkeeper's Friend. And I don't know. Let's just see how this stuff does on this. People swear by it on the Honda forums. See them talking about it. Oh, that stuff's amazing. And we'll see. It's just going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of cleaning. And just kind of work this thing out here. Just clean it. Again, just be really careful not to dump a bunch of excessive water into the switches. We're going to want to dry this off really, really good. Hey, that cleaned up that horn button pretty good. Stuff knocked right off of there. Yeah, there's definitely a film. There is definitely a film over the switch, for sure. All right, I'm just going to keep cleaning this. Barkeeper's Friend cleaned these up fantastic. Look at that, you can even see the red lettering back in the light, or back on the switch here too. This is great. Yeah, I'm really satisfied with how that came out. I'm just gonna dry the switch off really, really well. Dry it off. Yeah, dude, this thing's like black again. This thing had a real bad haze on it before, so yeah. Cleaning this old hard plastic stuff, Barkeeper's Friend, worked really, really well. Now, while I was cleaning it, I also noticed a couple of things that I need to take care of here. So we're going to run out to the shop here real quick because if we're going to put this bike together and we're going to do it right, we ain't putting crusty looking bolts and crusty looking screws back on it. Gotta go head out to the wire wheel. Back out in the shop, first thing I'm going to do is just get my heat gun on a low setting, and let's just make sure that we dry this piece really, 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 really well. Next up, grab your old safety goggles. Make sure, again, you wear these things when you're using these wire wheels. And let's clean up these, all right? These things are nasty looking, so let's clean them up. This makes quick work of it. Could have also dropped these in evapor rust, but wire wheel works great. It's a lot faster, too. I'm gonna get this project done today. All right, feeling pretty good about that. Looks like we got a nice new set of bolts here. Nice and clean. They're gonna look great when we put them back on the bike. All right, guys, we're ready to get going with our first switch install. Now, a couple things you wanna look for. You got a hole here. This is where your wires are gonna go in, and your wires are gonna come all the way out right at this point here, okay? Also, this little hole right here is where this little post here lines up. So it's an alignment marker is all it really is. So I'm gonna make sure I've got, this is my left-hand switch. So I got my left here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my dish soap. I'm gonna dump some dish soap inside of here. Have a little container, and you can be pretty liberal with this. And we're just gonna tip it and rotate it until we get it to come out of this bottom port. So I'm just gonna kind of hold my finger over it, see how it's coming out of there? Can't show you. There, it's coming out. So we've got a nice layer of soap inside of here. And that is gonna help pull the wires through here a lot easier, at least. I mean, this is not, You know, this is never a freaking cakewalk at all. I hate pulling wires. It's not the most fun. That's where you go grab your wire. Okay, so I'm going to go into here. I'm going to fish my wire through the handlebars. Till it, oh, messes. Until I can see it kind of pop through here. There it is. Ah, darn, it's slippery bugger. Ah, I'm making a mess, guys. That's all right. That's what a shop is for, right? So cool. So there, I've got my wire. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kink it so it plays nice. So I'm gonna bend this down at a nice little right angle. And I'm gonna get ready to attach the first wiring bundle on the switch here. So let's see, it's gonna go, I believe it goes, working upside down is hard. Working upside down is hard. I'm trying to keep an eye on this camera here too, so you guys can see what's going on. Let me try to get you a little better, little better angle. All right, I just had to throw a towel down. This work surface was way, way, way too slippery. So we gotta get these wires through, all right? Best way to do it is get them as tight together as you possibly can. Don't break the wires, okay? But all we're gonna do is try to create a bit of a weave around some of these wires, all right? So I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing here. I've got the wire, and I'm just gonna try and make a little bit of a weave, really shallow weave around these wires, okay? This is the easy switch, by the way. Now, this left-hand switch usually isn't too bad at all. But there's our little bit of a weave. I'm gonna go a little bit tighter as I get a little bit further onto this. I'll probably end up cutting that. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take a little bit of electrical tape, and we want to basically try to make an arrowhead here. Something that is gonna cut through air and you know, all obstacles on its way through. Now, you don't want a whole bunch of layers of material on here. Again, as little as possible. Now, this is the most worthless electrical tape I've ever seen in my life. It's like got barely any sticky to it. But anyway, oh, nice and tight. Pull that around. Cool. Just as long as it kind of holds this wire in place, okay? That's the goal. Next deal, I need to just snip this wire off. Hoping this is going to be enough. And it's going to get me to where I need to be. I'm going to get kind of tight on the back side of this. And then, what we're going to do, because my hands are all oily, or covered in soap, I'm going to put on a pair of gloves. I think this will help me get a little bit more grip on things. We'll see. Could be total fallacy on my part, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is just slowly start pulling this. Let's get this end down. I'm going to start pushing this in. So we're helping it in, okay? We're helping it through. On one side, wrap this wire nice and taut. And again, remember to push it down a little bit. Give it some help, okay? Give it a little bit of help. On the back side, this one's going easy. Again, this left-hand switch is the easy one. And you don't want to pull too hard either, because then you're going to end up jacking up all your wires and stuff too. So here, I can already see it kind of on this end. It's already kind of all the way through. But again, I got a long ways to go here. And again, the Dawn is really helping me out as well. So I'm just pulling this through. We've got it up on the top. Now it's all about just being real careful, real smooth, feeding it in. I guess you feed it in about an inch or so at a time. And just start pushing it through. Come on, baby. There we go. I'm just gonna keep working it. Be patient. Certainly don't want to jack things up at this point. You can see right here, you know, that Dawn soap is really helping her. You know, Dawn is not a sponsor of these YouTube videos. I need to just call it dish soap until they start handing me some giant wads of cash. Here, got a little bit there. I might need to heat shrink some of these pieces. And now once we get close here, what we're gonna do is start to look for our notches and how this is all gonna come together. All right, so find your cover plate. Okay, got a little ways to go. I still gotta pull up 3-4 inches through here. There we go. This plate is going to orientate, let's see, on the bike. I'm kind of holding it the way it's going to be on the bike. It's going to go right into there. And there's my marking tab. So yep, I still got to go a little ways. These are really tight, really finicky. Not a whole ton of room for error. All right, so again, this, oh my God, it's like a little jigsaw puzzle here. It goes like this. See how it's kind of coming into form here? And then this is gonna go in a line on the tab. See if I can show you this. See the tab? That's gonna swing around and hit the tab right here. There's the tab where my thumb is right here. The goal is to get these wires as tight as possible in here so that it all aligns and it all works in harmony together. All right, so there's that. There's the plate. And there's that. And this cord is just going to kind of wrap around. You just got to get it where it needs to be here. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Again, it's just a sandwich. Kind of a little pancake there. I can feel I'm in the tab. And my switch is in place. All right. Wait. Switch is not freaking backwards. Okay. Reorient. Over this way. And like this. There we go. There. Bada bing, bada boom. That is in place, and now I have my left and right signal in place right there. So let's go grab our screws and put those bad boys back in. I'm gonna go grab one more thing before we put those screws in though. Hold tight. All right, so I'm gonna grab my nuts and bolts. I'm gonna grab my JIS screwdriver, and I just went and grabbed my Permatex anti-seize lubricant. I'm gonna put this stuff on the bolts, just in case they gotta come out again, or 50 years from now, somebody else is rebuilding this bike. They're gonna be like, God bless that kind sir for using anti-seize on these handlebar switches. Oh yeah, look how shiny those are. Love it. Got my JIS, and let's tighten this switch home. And that's where she's gonna be. And just like that. Bada bing. Nice and tight. Boom. Boom. There. Left and right switch is in. It's making contacts. Feels good. Give it a good wipe. Make sure it's all nice and dry. Wipe off any of the excess Permatex. And we're good. So next step is to take a look at the grips. What I do with my grips. There's my grips. All right, so the grips are of different sizes, okay? One of them is actually thicker than the other, all right? Now the thicker one is gonna go on throttle side, and the thinner one goes on this side. So it's simply, you can just drop this on there and do that. You're gonna see this one doesn't fit worth a crap on the right side. That's because we need to get our throttle sleeve. Remember the throttle sleeve? All right, here's the throttle sleeve. You're gonna see throttle sleeve goes on beautifully right here. It's gonna fit sweet once we get that on there, okay? But let's focus on this grip first. All right, so this one. Now, there's a few things that you can do. It's gonna slide on pretty easily. Hopefully it lines up really, really nice. Oop, went a little too far on that. And there, and there. So I guess that's kind of where it's at. Kind of weird that there's such a big gap there. Not a huge fan of that. Not a huge, giant fan of that. But there you can see that's where our levers and everything are going to go. We could actually throw the levers on right now as well. Yeah, it's in the right spot, guys. Just wondering if these grips are a little bit shorter than what they're supposed to be. That gap seems a little bit odd. Always keep your old parts. Just went and grabbed the old one just to go and see what the difference is, and no, it's the same. So I guess that gap is just kind of what's going on with this deal. A lot of work to do yet on this, but that's the gist of, you know, getting your wires fed through on a Honda Handlebar. And here you go. I'm going to go through. I'm going to tape all this up. Probably heat shrink this. Make it look really, really, really good. And then we'll get to polishing up these handlebars. All right. Pretty stoked about how the handlebars came out. And there we can see our switch is in place and ready to go. Let's put some levers on. Let's keep going. All right. Let's get this grip on. Okay. I'm going to show you kind of what I do with it. What actually works the best, I don't know if it works the best, but it freaking works. Just use a little spray paint, okay? Make sure you've got the right one. Got my smaller diameter here. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to spray just a little bit of spray paint on this, okay? This actually will act as kind of a little glue, all right? Then what we're going to do, slowly slip the grip on, and twist it a little bit. Make sure we keep the paint inside. Keep pushing it till we get it right where we want it to be. And that is where I want it to be, right there. And that's it. That paint will actually hold that grip in place, and you'll be fine. I already got, darn it anyway, I already got a bunch of that Permatex all over the thing. That'll wipe off, it'll clean off. But anyway, there we go. That grip is on, that paint, it's gonna dry. We're gonna be good. Just make sure that it's looking straight. You know, I think this looks great. It'll be fine. Can almost feel myself riding this bike already. Cool. All right, let's put a lever on. Okay, so we're gonna put a lever on. Find your right lever. Just remember that the groove comes from the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that. Put that in there. It would not be a bad idea to get some Marvel Mystery Oil, and just a little, you know, oil up the hinge just a little bit. Ain't going to hurt nothing. All right, so we're going to do that. Drop that in place, and then go find one of our cleaner bolts that we've got. This one doesn't look too bad. I'll use that. I will grab just a little bit of the Permatex Anti-Seize, put some of that on the threads. Top of the bolt goes down, nut goes on the bottom. I believe it goes washer on top, if I recall correctly. Yeah, and then that's going to slide in. And then all you're going to need is your 10mm wrench to work this bolt into... Why is that so tough? That shouldn't be so damn hard to put this one in. Anyway, it's going in. Eventually, if my hands would work, there we go. It'll pop through the bottom. There's like a double thread on this. Just be aware of that. Okay, so it's like you put the bolt in, and then it kind of goes in, and then it goes through, and then you got to put a nut on the other side of it. So pretty easy. We're almost there. Must have been some gunk in the threads because it started out a little bit slow, but we're getting there. And here's the other thing, guys. Don't go crazy tight on these, okay? Just put them into place, okay? Just put them in place. Don't go, you know, crazy town trying to tighten these things up. They just need to be tight, and they hold that lever in place. Next, grab a nice looking nut and put that nut on the post right here. All right, righty tighty. Put that on there. Grab your 10mm wrench. Give that a nice little snug. Just needs to be snug. And there we've got our clutch. Clutch is in place, baby. Front left guard and left switch are in, basically repeating the process on the right side. Okay, guys, I can't resist. I know I got to do the right side, but I got to see what these mirrors are going to look like on here. I got to see, man. I got to see what they're going to look like. Got these from Common Motor. Again, these are really, God, I couldn't believe how inexpensive they were. These just screw on to that main hole right on that switch lever. And then I gotta turn that like that. Give that just a snug. And that is what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you a little bit better view of that. Here you go. I want to give you guys a little bit better look at what we just did here. There is our left side, left clutch. Whoa, mirror's on a little bit loose. But that's okay. We get the picture right. It's looking pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. All right, enough horsing around. We'll take the mirror off. Because we're not there yet. Mirrors will be one of the last things that go on the bike. So enough playing around. I'll put it back in the bag. I'll put it back in the box. Just had to do it though, you know. I had to see. Damn. All right, let's move on to the next side. All right, as we're getting ready to pop into this next side here, one thing I would suggest you do is you kind of get these wires that you had, that we already got through on the other side, tape those bad boys off. All right, tape them off so they get out of your way. You need to open up as much room as possible so that we can get this other set of switches in. This other set, the right side, man, there's a lot going on that side of the switch. So there's a big chunk of wires. Past experience tells me that this is not going to be enjoyable in any way, shape, or form. But again, it's the same process, right? It's the same process over and over and over again. You know, it's not rocket science. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a little wire tie. I'll cut it off later. But just to hold these wires in place and out of my way so they're not flapping all over the place while I'm inevitably getting like super freaking frustrated with what's happening with this right side switch. Again, Dawn dish soap. When you get that shit, when you get that stuff on your hands, it's working very difficult. Don't tell my dentist what I'm about to do here. Don't tell my dentist. Oh, come on. You know what? I think the zip tie is defective. I don't think the zip tie works. Oh yeah, it does. Jesus, man. Now I wasted a zip tie. All right, got myself a little longer zip tie. This is going to make my life a lot easier. My dentist won't get pissed off at me. So again, I'm just going to pull this, get as much possible room as you can. And I'm going to zip tie this down really hard. And then I'll grab my other zip tie here. And I'm just going to zip it, you know, inside the mirror mount. Is that what you would call that? I don't know. But anyway, I just don't want these things flapping around while I'm doing what I'm about to be doing here. And then we'll do this. Another thing that you can do, be real simple, is, you know, you don't have to put the lever on like I did. But again, I got excited, want to put some parts into stuff. I'm just going to take a bungee cord, and I'm just going to slap that on there so my lever's not flopping all over the place. So here we go. We're ready to go. Let me clean up some parts and get ready for the big pull on the new switch. All right, so on the right-hand switch, or the kill switch, these screws, if I remember right, these are different lengths, okay? The left side, it didn't matter. On this side, I believe it does. So one's a Phillips, one's a flathead, so we know for sure that they're going to be different. Phillips goes on the nubbin, or the little protrusion there. Actually, what the hell did that even do? It must just be a space holder or something for that. There's another one here I'm going to pull out. I'm going to have to go to the wire wheel on this one. This one's a nice rusty mess. This is down by the mirror mount, so that's good to know. That's a really long one. Look how long that one is. And then, for some reason, some guy decided it'd be a good idea to put a flathead right here. So this is the only flathead screwdriver I've got near me right now. So we'll take this one out. And this one goes by the starter button. Okay, just for reference, flathead by the starter button. Bam. Okay. And again, this whole thing is going to pull apart. Now, this is a really, really tight switch. Okay, there's a lot going on inside of here. Again, this is a brand new switch. I don't need to clean this or anything. But there ain't much room for, forgiveness on this bad boy. So we're going to take a look here. Take my bolts, put these in a safe place so I do not lose them. They're down on the footrest. If I lose them, please tell me. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our little bucket. Again, these videos, the one comment that I keep getting on the videos that I really, really, really enjoy is people are appreciating kind of less editing. People are appreciating just going through the process and just showing, a lot of what it actually takes and how long things actually take. I put my dish soap inside the tube. I'm going to cover it with my hand. I'm just going to rotate it around. Let's make sure this one I want to make sure we've got really good coating coverage on. Because again, this one sucks. This side is just really, really difficult. I'm going to move it over to my bucket. And hopefully we're going to start to see some of the dish soap come out through this end. If not, I'm going to definitely dump some more in there. There it is. There it's starting to come out. So we know we've got some good coverage inside of that tube. Awesome. Wipe my hands off because that dish soap is very slippery. And then I'm going to grab another pair of gloves. All right. Have those ready to go. Now it's super important. Look how many damn wires. Look how many damn wires go into this one, okay? Stagger them as best you can. So again, we want to get a point going on these wires, okay? So we're going to grab our wire. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start low. Give it a nice turn. And then I'm just going to start wrapping as tight as I can without pinching any of the wires or breaking any of the wires, all right? Try to time it so, you've got your different connectors. Try to time it so you can get a loop right around these connectors, right at the bottom of them. And then take it around to the next set of wires. It's kind of working like I want it to. And then we're just going to do one loop like that. So you kind of want to end up with something like that. Okay, a little arrowhead again, a little missile going through the sky. Then we're going to get our electrical tape. I'm going to start down low right here. And I'm really trying to get this as tight of a diameter as God, this tape sucks. I'm done with that tape. That is the most miserable electrical tape in the world. All right, sorry about that, but man, that was super frustrating. Let's go like this. Now what we want to do, I see a problem here already. I got a kind of a tight little, that's going to catch on something, and that is going to be no-go. It's going to be no fun to have to deal with. You want absolutely no hang-up points. So here I got myself some sticky electrical tape. Hallelujah. All right, and then again, get it as tight on there as you possibly can. And just try to get narrow. Try not to bunch up a bunch of the connectors. Try to space those out so you don't have like big clumps of them. Then we're going to keep going. Come on. Here we got a little bit of a mess there. We're getting to those last few connectors. Wrap that up. Just like one more wrap around here. Got one rogue one that decided to pop out on me there. What's going on, buddy? Go home. All right, bam. That should do it, guys. Feel good about it? And here we go. Let's do it. Let's go to our front side. Actually, I'm going to grab my gloves again because there's going to be Dawn all over this stuff. Actually, there's going to be dish soap all over everything. Get these tools out of the way. All kinds of tools in the way. Take our wire, just like this. And we'll try to get the switch up on top here. Real thrilling videos, guys, but this is the process, man. Push this through. And again, this one's a little bit more difficult because we don't have as much room. You know, in retrospect, I might have done this one first just because it would have given me a little bit more room to work. But, you know, I didn't. So, I didn't do that. There we go. There we got the wire through. I have to bash my brand new switch. These switches are not cheap, by the way. And we're going to start pulling this through. Again, pull up on this side and then be pushing down and in to pull this through. So far, it's not too bad, but we're getting to the thick frickin' part now. This is the thickest part of this cable right here. I'm going to have to really get this wrapped around my hand here. Oh, man, some leverage would be nice. Okay, we got the big part through. That's awesome to see. And now we just got to be patient. We got to start feeding it through. Getting it past this bend in the handlebar. That's kind of a booger too. You just got to keep at it. See, I've already got my first set of wires popping right here. So that's good, but got a long ways to go. Come on. That's tight. It's definitely tight. That Dawn is doing the job though, man. That stuff is awesome. And come on, here's another big bundle of wires coming down and in, and then pull. So it's got to be a nice little dance. There we go. We're getting it, guys. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be for a change. Yeah, this is going on good. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Let's go. Come on, a little bit more down and in and pulling on this side. I'm gonna wipe my hands off just a little bit. Woo! Feels good. Feels good to get these bad boys in place. And again, this has to be pretty tight because there is not a lot of wiggle room in this switch for sure. So it's gonna orient like this. So I just need to get it as close as I possibly can. Otherwise, it just doesn't seat right. And it looks kind of jank, not gonna lie. Okay, so then we're just gonna open it up, clamp it around. I actually need to feed in about another inch or so. There, I think that dropped in. Is it in the port? I believe so. We got it, guys. We got it. It's all the way through. All right, so weight one. I just had to go polish that screw, guys. That was the big one. So, okay, how the hell was this? Oh, man. How the hell was it? I remember this one went on the nubbin, right? That one went like that. I believe this was switch side, and this one was lever side. I'm almost positive. Yep, that's gotta be right. Gotta be right. Just want to get this sandwiched together as best as you can. Make sure that you're on that alignment tab as well, that little pin. Make sure you're on that. I feel pretty good about it. Let's go for it. Let's get this on. So this is actually the second time that I've done one of these right-hand switches. My CB350 was all smashed up on that side. So I actually had to do this on the other one. So that's fun. And actually, I should hold off, actually. Hold up. What am I doing? Getting this into place. I'm getting ahead of myself. Here, back it up. Let's do the little rewind sound. Because we got some other parts to install here, guys. I'm getting too excited here. What we need to do, and what I think I should kind of do, I've got my lever, I've got my handle, and I've got my choke sleeve that I need to deal with. But in order to do that, I gotta get my throttle cable going. So, I mean, we might as well just keep going, right? I mean, let's just keep doing this. We've got our deal here. Let me swing the camera around. All right, here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the throttle sleeve. Okay, this actually slides onto the handlebar, and it slides inside of the grip. See this area here, the little space? This throttle sleeve actually pops into that spot. So here I've positioned that throttle sleeve a little bit better. It just swings around inside this channel, all right? What we need to do is we need to get the throttle cable actually inserted up into that, and it latches into the little holder inside of the throttle sleeve, okay? So let me get you a good camera angle to kind of show you what's going down here, because this is important. You got to have a throttle. All right, this should work pretty good for you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this throttle sleeve back out, okay? And one thing I am going to do is I'm going to grab some of the Marvel Mystery Oil, and I'm going to get that on the bar here. Okay, just a little bit, not mandatory, but anytime you've got moving parts, you like to, you know, give them some lubrication. Okay, next we're going to do is we're going to slide this piece on. Okay, we're going to slide this part on, and just pry this open enough so that you can get this inside of the shaft here. All right, don't have to go all the way in yet. Now we're going to take our throttle cable, and we're going to move our throttle cable up. See if I can get as much play out of this throttle cable as I can. There we go. That'll help. I'm going to push this up into the shaft. And there it is. See it? Woohoo! It's in there. And then it's going to simply, right? It's going to slide into this little hole on the handle. And then we're going to rotate it around. This is impossible almost for me to give you a good shot of this. It's very awkward. Hopefully you guys see what I mean. Oh my god. Working on handlebars, it's freaking, it's awkward. Lots of weird stuff happening. There we go. That'll help. Just take it out of the thing just a little bit. It'll reach, push it in, and now it's locked in. See how that ball is inside of that throttle shaft? Perfect. Now we're in business. Now before you go tightening this all to hell, you need to get this piece on. And the only way, please tell me if I'm doing this wrong, but from what I understand, all I'm going to do is get this piece started and then get it on the locking nut. But there's really no easy way to do it other than to swing the whole damn throttle cable around. So I'm just going to throw this on there. I don't know. I'll go about that far. And I'm just going to tighten that nut down. It should end up kind of being at an angle as it goes down the pipe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find that brass pin and get this handlebar switch in the right spot. This is what I remember this being a real pain when I was doing the 70. I'm having flashbacks right now. There's the pin. There's the hole. So I got to go this way with the switch. There's a lot of shit, a lot of stuff that you're trying to get into one spot. Okay, I think I got it. It's very hard to see. There is not a lot of room happening in here. I believe that's there. Now it's just a matter of getting it all to fit back together into the shaft there. Okay, that one in. Trying to get it all lined up. Oh my God. So I think this piece, just trying to find that sweet spot where that peg is supposed to go. I feel like there it went, man. Once it goes, it goes. Perfect. Okay, yeah, once it goes, guys, don't force it. If you're forcing it, it's not right. Yep, and my throttle cable is moving freely in there. I'm going to roll it over. Grab my JIS. Now I'm looking at this from a different direction again, but I believe it was like this. Just like this. We'll screw this back in. Come on. Yes. Yes. Just like that. Woohoo, feeling it. All right, and then this is going to crimp the rest of this together really well. Couldn't find a smaller screwdriver for this job. All right, don't have to go crazy tight. And then our little peg, which I'm not 100% certain what the hell this does, to be honest with you, goes into here. God, these are some tippy buggers. Trying to hold on to this stuff. All right, and then put this one in. Tell me what this is if you know what this is in the comments. So I have no idea. I could look it up, I guess. Not be a lazy ass. All right, there you go. Our throttle cable is attached. And throttle cable, let's give her a test. Let's look at it. Does it move? Yep, it works. Cool. Throttle cable's attached. That's all good. All we got to do is put the grip on. All right, grip is pretty straightforward. This one usually fits pretty snugly. Just put it on. Oh, now this one moves a little bit. I'm actually going to spray just a little bit of paint on it. Can't hurt. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Ooh, I got kind of a big gap on this side. I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of that. You don't want to torque too hard on these pieces because it's not like they're... Oh yeah, it just needs to be tightened up a little bit more. There, it's bringing it all together. Perfect. All right. Then we will go ahead and hit it with some spray. Hit this side just a little bit. And we will slide on. Yeah, it's working. Sweet. All right, let's just push this on there. Go home. Oh, come on. Go home, little one. Oh, my God. All right. All righty, then. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're almost there. Got about an inch to go. Sorry you guys missed that feat of strength and agility that I just did. Basically just pulling and twisting on it. I know some people use like air compressor. Yeah, I just need to go another inch or so. Oh, come on. Come on. I know you wanna. Let's go. There, I think I got it. Oh. There. Vroom, vroom. We got it. Let's free things up. All right, let's get this electrical tape off. Let's get the wires pulled apart. Well, not pulled apart, but get them separated so they're nice and loose again. And, you know, that's a fun little project for a Saturday morning. All right, not too bad. Went pretty smooth. That right-hand side went a lot better than I thought. All we got to do is free things up just a little bit, wiring-wise and wires, and then we'll go ahead and throw on our next lever. And we should be in business. Get our wire off of here. Woohoo! Feels good. I've been staring at this project for quite a while now. I don't remember when I uploaded the original where we took them down. I'll link to it at some point in the video, I'm sure, when I get to editing. Bam! Those are free. Just like that. We got our throttle cable in place. Man, this is coming together quite nicely. All right, now let's just throw our lever on, all right? Again, Marvel Mystery Oil. I actually just realized I forgot to put anti-seize on the one screws on this one, but don't tell anybody, okay? All right. Drop that in there just like that. We're going to take our little washer and our nut. I'm going to slide that in just like that. This one's going in a lot easier. And then just grab your 10 millimeter. And we'll tighten this bad boy up. Again, not super tight. Tight enough to keep it in place. Put that on there. Here, I finally gave you guys a good camera view today. All right, not super tight, just tight enough. And that'll do her. That'll do her. Right there, let's get this, here's our other side here. Let's get this bungee cord off. And it is free. Let's take a look at it. Well, this video ended up being a lot longer than I thought. Sorry about that. I need to go polish up the chrome now. But man, we got it. We got the switches replaced. Got them swapped out. Got the wires fed through. Here's our 2 bundles of wires. Okay, we have to wire this all up eventually. And we got the throttle cable, throttle sleeve, everything in place there. Looks like I still got to tighten up that one side just a little bit. But that's all in place right there. So if you've never done this before, I hope this was helpful. Got to do a little bit of touch up. I'll get some black paint, black polish, clean up any of the nicks that are on here. But these are essentially, you know, a quick clean and polish away from getting back on the bike. If you guys found the video helpful or you enjoyed it or, you know, whatever, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Thumbs up the videos that you find most useful. It really helps me, like, figure out what kind of videos I should be making. Also, follow along Instagram and Twitter at BVMatson. And, yeah, till next time, guys. Not really sure what I'm going to do. There's a lot.